Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube channel. I am your host, Jacob Tiranno, and today I'm going to be recapping week 39 of my 365-day update. Now, trust me, I know that a few weeks ago I said I was going to be uploading on Tuesdays, getting ahead of the game, and again, here I am uploading on Friday. I really want to apologize for that. I don't like publishing these along with my movie reviews. But I promise I'm going to make sure that this is the last week in doing so. To show you how dedicated I am, well, actually, it's not important. So just know that I'm dedicated on doing that. I don't like doing it, and this is going to be, I'm going to do my best, everything in my power, for it to be my last time doing so. This is going to be an incredibly quick update. I don't have a particularly lot of time to go through actually everything, and plus, you know, I've kind of been hearing some tweets that maybe they'd like this video a little bit shorter, so I'm going to do my best in order to do that, so we're going to run through things pretty quickly. My week 39 of my 365-day update. To begin week 39, I watched the film from 1958, The Space Children, and I found The Space Children, my movie for day 267, to be a fairly weak sci-fi film. Like many science fiction movies, at that time, that addresses war. You know, a common theme in sci-fi films in the 50s and 60s were talking about war and kind of addressing their views on war. And I didn't feel like this movie really had an enticing story or interesting characters. It really lacked those things. And it's not the worst science fiction movie that I've seen out of this time period, but let me tell you, it's not memorable. Even now, you know, a week or so later, trying to recap it, I don't remember very much. But there's no good performances. It does have a message, but it's just wasted on a film that I don't think will keep people's attention. Day 268 of the 365-day movie challenge, I watched the new film from director Peter Berg, starring Mark Wahlberg, called Deepwater Horizon. If you've not seen my review for Deepwater Horizon, you could click that white eye, a bunch of links drop down, you could find my review for Deepwater Horizon. Watch it now. I actually was pretty favorable with this movie. Day 269, I watched probably one of my favorite movies from this challenge, and that is a movie called Dope. And I think Dope is original and funny and smart, and it has so many elements working for it. Even the soundtrack of this movie is great. And Too Bad Oreo, spelled A-W-R-E-E-O-H, is an actual band because I loved the music from this movie. Ever since I've seen it, I've been playing their music on YouTube, you know, constantly. I just think they have such a great sound. And the movie is just a fresh take of this coming-of-age story on inner-city youths. It has a really different, you know, version of this story that's never really been explored. The nerd, the outcast, and it's never really been addressed before, and I really love how this movie went down that path. It really perfectly balances comedy and serious drama, especially when dealing with violence, and it just works on so many levels, including the performance from Shameik Moore, because his portrayal of the main character, Malcolm, is one for the books. It is really, really good. And Dope is just a really witty movie. It offers really great ideas, and it doesn't feel cliche. And it's a refreshing comedy tackling serious stuff. You know, there is this idea that comedies can't be great movies, and that's just not true. You know, you could obviously look at Charlie Chaplin. You know, and one of my favorite films of the year, Hunt for the Wilder People, addresses really serious topics with comedy, and so does Dope, and I think that's really refreshing to see a comedy address drama with such insight. Day 270 of the 365-day movie challenge, I watched Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. If you've not seen my review for that, click that white eye, a bunch of links will drop down. You could hit my review and watch me and Mr. Shu talk about this movie. Just let me tell you really quick, I was not a fan. Day 271 of the 365-day movie challenge, I watched the Netflix documentary Amanda Knox. Now, this new documentary is another incredible documentary from Netflix. I have been just on a documentary binge this challenge, and Netflix has supplied a lot of those documentaries. Not all of them are great, but most of them are pretty good, and the few that they've done themselves, Netflix original movies, have been very good. This is just like a spellbinding mystery movie, and it's well crafted, it's beautifully shot, but it's the real intense mystery, this constant questioning that centers this film and makes it special. On one hand, you have this really chilling crime story, but at the same time, it's an intelligent film that also addresses the media's influences on court cases. And though Amanda Knox, the movie, doesn't address every question about this heinous crime that took place, it focuses on one person's fight for freedom. And I really enjoyed it. It was a really good documentary. If you're into documentaries and you've not seen the new Netflix ones, last week I watched Audrey and Daisy. This week I watched Amanda Knox. Make sure to go check them out. Day 272 of the 365-day movie challenge. I watched a film, actually from earlier this year, starring Natalie Portman, called Jane Got a Gun. And Jane Got a Gun is a film that I didn't love, but I didn't hate either. It's just one of those movies that has a lot of pros and cons, and you're just kind of like, well, there's this, and this, but then again, there's this, and this. It's a decent modern take on a Western, aesthetically speaking, but its content falls short of form. And if you're not familiar with those terms, content and form, content is the Gatorade, form is the bottle, right? So this is how it's portrayed. And the bottle of Jane Got a Gun, the look of the movie, the feel of the movie is good. But what's actually inside, what I'm tasting, isn't that great. It's just not as good looking as the bottle, if that makes sense. You could YouTube more about content, form, and content to find out more. But just know this movie looked better than it was. Jane Got a Gun offers a solid performance from Natalie Portman, but that doesn't help transcend the story. It just doesn't feel special. Instead, it just feels plain, and that's a real bummer because it's not memorable. I think it's easily forgotten, and you know me being a big Western fan, I really rooted for this movie to succeed, and though I think it's not a bad movie, it's just not great. And to close out week 39 of my 365-day movie challenge, I watched the new film Storks. And I think Storks is a lighthearted, charming movie with great, vibrant animation. I do not think it is as good as Zootopia or Kubo, The Legend of Two Strings, because of the lack of depth and its uneven pacing. But Storks has comedy on its side, and not all the jokes land, but when they do, they hit hard. A great example is Pigeon Toady, the Pigeon Toady character, who I found to be absolutely hilarious. And it also has one of the funniest scenes of the year, and that is the quiet penguin fight. And my side was in pain from laughing so hard watching this movie. It's good, especially if you want to laugh. It just falls short because of its mediocre plot and inconsistent gags and pace. I think there is a nice message in this movie, but it's nowhere near as depthful as Disney and Pixar and DreamWorks. But there is something good about this movie. It's just kind of buried sometimes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for my Week 39 update. Now remember, starting on Monday, I started on Monday, actually this Monday, for my Week 40 update. Up until the end of October, I will be watching horrors and thrillers all the time. For the entire month of October, I'm going to be doing either horror films or thriller films to really celebrate Halloween. Make sure to follow me at Jacob Tiranno on Chasing Cinemas. Follow me at Jacob Tiranno on Instagram and Twitter to see my daily reviews, but also make sure to follow Chasing Cinemas, Twitter and Instagram to keep up with what we're doing. Also, don't forget, every Friday morning at 8:30, I am on Chet Buchanan in the Morning Zoo, 98.5 KLUC, the #1 hit music station here in Las Vegas. Don't ever miss any of our reviews. They're all posted at ChasingCinema.com. Never miss a video by hitting that subscribe button. If you have any comments or recommendations, let me know down here in the comment sections below. Slap a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jacob Tiranno, and please continue chasing cinema.